pitch idea for you.
Okay.
So Viv's away for the week. She's at a conference, she says, in Canada. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means. But she's at a conference, and so it's making me think of, do you remember the movie Mr. Mom?
A bit, yeah. I
really
know
love
it.
It holds up surprisingly well. It's not Mr. Mom. The fact that it's called that is almost like sarcastic. Like it sounds like it's going to be like the whole thing is just going to be like, ha ha, dads don't know how to be dads, and this is women's work and stuff. That's not really how it is. Anyway, new pitch idea. What about, because you got Mr. Mom, Mrs. Dad, and the dad goes out of town, and then virtually nothing changes. It's just like it's just like 2 hours of a slice of life of a family. One time, one of the kids is like, "Where's Dad?"
Like a couple days in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like that's like the climax of the movie. This is when one of the kids is like, "Hey, where's Dad?"
Don't we have a dad?
And the other kid's like, "I don't know."
Nobody's asked me to shut my feelings down in a couple days. I don't know where Dad is.
Who's here?
Just kidding.
Who's gonna call me Sport?
Oh. Yep. I think that's a great idea.
For the record, I call both my kids Sport all the time.
Great. I know we have this conversation about
Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see how people would use Buddy as Sport, but that's not how I use Buddy. You can tell in my tone. And I don't punch him in the shoulder when I say it either.
Are you going for like the one-handed hug back slap?
No, I do two-handed back slap. I do a back and front slap. Just like, I just kind of shake him back and forth. Like,
yeah. You sandwich him. You scare your child. You just
say, "Whoa, are you falling down? This is how you be a man. Are you good enough? No." It is all about that work-life balance, though. I don't know. Whatever.
Way to sum that up.
Thanks. That's my movie pitch.
Okay.
I'm reluctant to put this on the actual podcast feed just because, like, what if somebody steals it from me? But whatever. Let's get some buzz going.
Yep.
Maybe Vanity Fair will call me. I don't know. How does that work?
Okay.
The trades will call me.
Yeah. That seems like a great step towards a movie.
Thank
that
you.
magazine.
That's what else I do.
Yeah.
Highlights magazine, maybe. More like, what? Here we go. Ready? Are you ready to talk about a book? We've got a book to talk about.
I sure am.
Okay. The book we're talking about today is Mrs. Dad. We're Going on a Bear Hunt by Michael Rosen and Helen Oxenberry. Have you ever had an Oxenberry?
No, I haven't, and I would have said that differently. So I'm really glad that you did the thing that you're supposed to do and say their names.
Oxen.
I would have said Ox. No, I would have said I missed the N part. I would have said Oxbury. Like,
I see.
British. Oxbury.
Oh, hello, Ox. That's probably how it's pronounced in Britain. You know how they just pull out syllables and Yorkshires and
turn them around.
I have never read this book. I have now, but my only exposure to it has been that apparently Wes is familiar with this because she says parts of it sometimes, but she's not great with narrative fiction. So it's kind of all over the place. And pretty much all I know is that we're going on a bear hunt.
I would love to hear that rendition. Maybe you could get that on tape and put a bonus.
It at the end. Sure. Bonus for our Patreon subscribers. So do you want to start with our synopses?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to go first. Yep.
You do it.
Okay. A family of 5 goes on an imaginary bear hunt, meandering through a variety of noisy landscapes. Things take a turn and they run frantically back to their house. At the end, you feel a little bit bad for a lonely, persistent bear.
Okay, well, that synopsis was illuminating for me, to be honest, because I did definitely miss part of it. I didn't realize it was a imaginary bear hunt. I took this very literally. I did.
Okay.
Okay, here's my
Okay.
synopsis. A dangerously impulsive family hunts a bear, but then reevaluates once confronted with the reality of a bear they just messed with.
I just can't imagine that they were intending to go frickin' find a bear with their 3 young children in tow. Like,
What this gave me vibes of is like a YouTube family. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Like that's what I was imagining. I guess that's the lens through which I'm viewing this, since I'm seeing it for the first time now. It's like this seems like, oh, you guys, what are you doing, you idiots? Like I imagine they're videotaping it.
Yeah.
Videotaping. That's what you say now, right? They're
Yep.
cell
They
phoning
are.
it. They're digital. They're I don't know. I got nothing. They're moving picture as it. They're making talkies over here about it and vlogging.
Yep.
So that's how I
It's
found
all
it.
good. Yep. Yep. On their, I was gonna have a really good reference like MySpace or
That is a really good
Tumblr.
reference.
That's what I really was going for. I was going
Tumblr,
for
sure.
Tumblr.
Okay, I'll just cut that in.
Okay,
Tumblr, good one. It was a
Thanks.
spot on ref. So because I don't know this thing,
Uh-huh.
what is the cadence? In reading it, I'm struggling to figure out. I did
Did
not
anybody read
listen
it
to
to
this
you?
one. No, I
Okay,
didn't get this one
okay.
read to me. I found it on a PDF. So
Well, we're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We're not scared. Uh-oh, grass. Long, wavy grass. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we've got to go through it. Swishy splashy, swishy splashy, swishy splashy.
cut.
our
Let's take
cadence.
this. Let's take it from the top. Let's. Why don't you just do one for you? Just a throwaway. Just throw it away. So okay. So it's the what a beautiful day. We're not scared because it's like we're going on a bear hunt. We're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. I don't know how to say that. So that would annoy me. I'm glad that Wes has not brought this book to me. I will not be printing out this PDF for her.
Well, it's actually, I think it's hard to translate into a book. And honestly, I am interpreting it a little bit. If you ever went to summer camp for long periods of time, were a camp counselor, this is a huge part of like the cultural zeitgeist of camp.
So is this based on that, or is that
Yes.
from this?
Well,
okay.
I mean, I didn't wiki this one, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say yes. So this guy who gets like author credit to me feels a little unfair because like I don't know, somebody must have written this down at some point, but it is like a very long history. And like campers love this. You know, they do all the sound effects. They do like kind of, if you've ever been to like, this is my question for you. Actually, it's like a spin-off question of this, but I didn't have a lot of camp experience, but I imagine it's like a part of those like choreographed like end of camp, like campfire fun nights where all the kids like do the thing together.
Yeah, the classic
everybody in
summer
the audience.
campfire fun night.
Did you? Okay, so you didn't know this, but it doesn't mean that you didn't go to summer camp.
I did go to a summer camp, but it was a Boy Scout camp, and they didn't sing this that I recall. I know that we sang "I'm a Lumberjack" or the Lumberjack song by Monty Python.
From Monty Python?
Yeah. So that was kind of more the crowd.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I don't remember this. I don't think I would have been into this. I don't like doing stuff with other people when people tell me to. Do you know what I mean? Like at a concert or something, when everyone's like trying to get you to clap your hands, or like, when I say this, then you say this. I'm like, I don't think so, man. I paid money to come here to watch you do the work. You know what I mean? Do you want me to, anything else you want me to mop up or anything afterwards? Hey, can I carry your drums out to the van?
Turns out I'm a roadie now.
Yeah. Great. If I can get in free, maybe. Anyway, so I don't think I probably would have
no
liked
direct
that. But I understand. Now I can understand. I bet they do this song at school with all the kids. That would be a lot more fun. But I feel like me just reading this to my daughter sounds pathetic.
Well,
I don't know. Something about it seems
here
lonely.
To tell you. Yeah, it is kind of lonely. I mean, unless your kid gets into it, but I like reading it. My highlights are that I really love the pictures. I like this illustrator. I think I've seen her do other things.
It does look
It's
familiar.
really pretty. It's like very like really expertly done, like watercolor, but soft. Every other page is black and white. There was something else that we read that had that cadence. It was Margaret Weiss Brown, I think, had one of
Yeah,
those.
Runaway
The Runaway
Bunny.
Bunny. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pictures are just awesome. But the concept is obviously like kind of ridiculous. So if it's kind of interesting to see how they illustrated it, because I don't think people really, or people all over the country who were doing this in camp formats, probably had a myriad vision of what this was experience was, and then this person just like nails it down for all of us who read this. So the highlight is the pictures, because I think it's kind of fun to visualize this.
One of the pictures. So back to TikTok here on
And
another
Tumblr.
episode. So no, sorry, TikTok. I know it's
Oh,
confusing.
right. Yep.
The long grass, walking through the long grass. That scene
Mhm.
made me nervous, just because that's where ticks
Oh
like
my
to hide.
God.
And
You're right.
again, my daughter, the PSA, Rocky Mountain spotted fevers in the Midwest. The doctor. Anyway, Wes just got it, and all that. So that made me like paranoid. And the swishy swashy. I'm like, oh, that's where you get the ticks. Is the swishy swashy.
It's the swishy swashy. Well, then you could go on to say that if anybody's ever watched like a comedy movie in the last 15 years, people wading waist deep in water
Uh-huh.
usually leads to some either like horrific incident or leeches. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of
leeches.
horrible moments.
That's actually why they call it Rocky Mountain swashy fever. It's because of that. That's a good way to remember it, I feel like.
You know, and normally I like books with you said swishy swashy, and then I think there was another one in there. Yeah, the sound effects
Squelch,
part of this.
squelch, squirch, squelch, squirch.
It's a good one, but they're kind of confusing. There's a couple that work, and there's a couple that are hard to read. So I read this one out loud to Olive a lot, and I would have to stop, back up, and then go splash, splosh, or is it splish splash? Which it should be, but it is not.
Yeah, it's so hipster.
Yeah, and
like,
it's not that you have to really
do
do them; you just have to read them.
Splash, splosh doesn't. Yeah, I don't like that. British, maybe in a British accent. Splash, splosh. That's a pretty good British accent.
That's good.
Splashenshire, splashenshire.
Splashborough.
Splashborough. Two things I really liked. I have two highlights involving the bear itself. By the way, spoiler alert, they find the bear and then the bear gets mad and chases them. Okay. Bear Gate. It's like Watergate, but with a bear.
Okay.
But there's a distant shot of the bear opening their front gate when they're like running back into their house. In like the third, fourth to last page.
Yep.
And he's just like walking upright and opening the gate with with his hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's cute. And then of course the sad bear walking away is great. It reminds me a little of like the Incredible Hulk theme music should be playing. The TV show. Do you remember the TV show?
I do, but I don't remember.
At the end, it's like
on the bar.
It's this like, hold on, can I? That's a good question. It's a sad piano song. I can't. But
because he's always leaving town because he's like destroyed something, so he has to move on.
Yeah, and he's like walking slowly away. Yeah, I suddenly don't remember. I used to have it as my ringtone back in the Nokia, like the old Nokia days. Anyway, so those are my highlights. Do you think this is about? Is this about going through things? Like, is there a metaphor, or is this just a dumb story? Perseverance or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, all that. No, I don't. And honestly, I don't. Never had. Sometimes I have the bandwidth to go there. But today, I like this book because I just feel like it is a dumb story, and there's not a lot of stake in the game. I mean, high stakes, low
Bear
stakes.
stakes.
versus bears names.
Mhm.
Except for that moment, like on that same like spread where you're talking about the bear kind of calmly walking through the gate. Clearly the family has had time to like lock the door, but then they frickin' forget to shut the door. Back downstairs, shut the door.
That's a slow
And
ass
there's a
bear.
moment. There's a moment where they have just shut the door. They're all leaning against it, and the bear has pressed himself against the glass. It's super intense.
Yeah, that part's pretty intense. And they're holding it shut while they lock it.
Yep.
Those covers aren't going to do shit. It's also nice that there's a that one of the kids has a teddy bear. That's funny.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, I love bears. Yeah, maybe that's the deeper message, Nate, to kind of circle back to your original question. It's like if they really did intend to go on a bear hunt, they thought it was going to be kind of like that teddy bear that the baby is holding. And then the baby is no worse for the wear in the end and just snuggling back with his or her teddy bear.
So the moral of the story is babies are stupid, and that's probably for the best.
And they shouldn't define your daily outings. They shouldn't.
Yeah, right. Tell that to the splash pad my family's going to destroy later. Seriously, if you could call ahead, that would be great. I was going to add this quick question. This is a new question. I'm changing subjects abruptly. What is your least favorite terrain to walk through, and what would the sound effect be?
The first thing that comes to mind is sand. It's like impossible to get traction. And I think the sound effect would be like, God damn it,
mm-hmm.
Like that. But the weird thing about it is like I always forget. I'm like, oh sweet, I'm at the beach. I get real excited, and I start making my way down, and it's like a slippery calf pain-inducing journey.
That's what they always say. It's a slippery calf pain-inducing journey. Take the slippery slope, only way more specific to that situation.
What about you?
Icy snow, I think. I am not good at walking on slippery things. Or I'm fine at it, but I definitely fall down a lot. But I'm little, so it's not so far to fall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a good roller. I roll out of it. But yeah, that's like where you have to like flex your whole body, and your inner thighs get tired from trying to keep your legs from slipping out. I hate that. And that would be like, you up. That's me.
Yeah, almost like there's like a one walking like that the really really cold snow. It's not icy, but it's like 10 below and you're walking on it, and it's like fingernails on a chalkboard, or like squeezing styrofoam peanuts.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're I don't like styrofoam peanuts, but I do like that crunchy snow situation. I can see why you wouldn't, for sure. But that one I enjoy. I think I like the absurdity of that whole situation when it's so cold. I think it's like it sounds like you're walking on a different planet, and that's what it feels like. So I feel like the experience, it's good for the experience. Just how like fingernails on a chalkboard are great in the right situation.
I really like how you tied it all together.
Yeah, no. Just like that. No. Well, what if you're in a classroom and you hate yourself? Then,
then okay, I'll consider it.
What if you're being held hostage by Libyans, and they hate fingernails on chalkboards, and somebody else does it to distract them? Will you escape? What about them?
Was that a Back to the Future reference? Because I
think the Libyan part was, yeah, for sure. Yeah, sorry, Libyans. That was outdated. We are big in Libya too. So.
Or Back to the Future dated. Damn it, I didn't get that. that was I meant. I meant to get a time reference in there.
I'll edit it all together.
Gotta go back in time.
Do you wish you could go back in time to get that reference? Yeah. I'll edit it in, and then good reference. I'll just use the one from before. I'll just cut the same me saying good ref, spot on ref. I can just use that one. Now that I said it, I'll just use that one.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, I want it.
I find so It's a little bit also a non sequitur
Mhm.
because we're off this topic, but I kind of have an uneasy feeling towards the end of the book for a number of reasons. We've discussed the sad bear, and we've discussed the sort of scary bear pressed against the glass. Um, because this is like a camp fun time story, I also associate that with like scariness and
Uh-huh.
telling scary stories.
Sure.
Do you have a lot of like memories of being like super duper scared as a kid? Like somebody's telling you a scary story you're too young for, or your dickhead friends are trying to like get you.
One time I was in, so I used to, this, we used to, there's a group of us when I was maybe, I don't know, 11 or 10, who used to climb around we'd crawl around in the storm sewers.
Ew, what?
Not the sewers, they were just like rainwater sewers. The culvert
Okay. Yep.
down by Grendel Park. There's a big entrance down there. You could go in
Oh,
and
like big
crawl around.
culverts. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
but
Okay.
there's like they go pretty deep, and so we'd crawl around in those. And like maybe 15 minutes into one, this dude Chad Wiggy, I'll name him. I don't care.
Hmm.
He, we all stopped and like I think our flashlight went out, and it was like super dark. And he was like, guys, when I was 14, or no, what did he say? He's like, my uncle went into a storm sewer once, and he never came out. He basically just said that,
Oh,
but it was like his voice was shaking, and we were all like scared for a second, but then we were like, oh, this guy's a dildo. Like this guy, he's like he lied about everything.
Oh, okay.
So it ended up not being scary at all, but it was still like somebody trying to like scare me, and
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
like, yeah, right. How?
I think I right. You can
He
go
ran
two
out of
ways.
air. Yeah, exactly. Like, did he fall? Did he just have a heart attack? He was
Is he a
94.
drinker? Yeah. He's
Yeah.
blindfolded and drinking a lot. Yeah.
Other than that, no. What about? I don't remember any. I'm sure there were. I feel like ghost stories always seem kind of stupid. I watched The Birds way too early.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? The
That
Birds.
creepy. Yeah, yeah. The Alfred Hitchcock one.
Mm-hmm. With all
Where
the, I made it. I
Muppety
think I
birds.
didn't watch the whole thing. I made it as far as somebody poked out somebody's eyes.
Eyes.
Somebody
Yep.
being one of the birds. Okay, to be clear, it was the birds. I don't need to hedge there. I think I can admit that it was the birds. I think statute of limitations has passed.
Yeah,
It was the birds that did it, officer,
Mhm.
and then I stopped watching at that point. Other than that, no. What about you? Did you get?
It's always too late though.
You had a much older sibling. Is that true?
I did. Yeah.
Did they try to mess with you at all? I feel like
No,
that
she was always so kind and good. Yeah. I mean, I think she introduced me to some like cool music, like which is
scary
like
music.
actually the
Monster
opposite
Mash.
of being mean. Yeah, it's like, oh, I just made my younger sister like 10 times cooler by introducing her to the police.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kelly.
ACAB.
ACAB.
Yeah, please.
Oh.
I'm sorry, it's
And
so political. And sometimes Sting takes a cab. Is that what
yeah,
you're gonna say?
exactly.
Yeah.
He's a Englishman in New York. Of course he does.
They call it a lolly though.
They don't.
No.
Do they?
No. They call it a Yorkshire. Anyways,
I think the scariest thing was always slumber parties with girls. Like either the girls themselves would like do something to you, like either like jump scare,
mhm.
and or they would, if you were at a slumber party, like somebody knew it was happening and they would kind of like knock on the window.
Mhm.
I remember sometimes in Deb's basement having like somebody knock on the window.
I
And
think
then
I may have
Vermeil
knocked on a
basement.
window at some point.
Yes. And especially, okay, so I think I was too young for Poltergeist.
Oh yeah.
That felt like a rite of passage for a lot of people. That was like, we were maybe like 9 or 10 when it came out. And I was at Michelle Esser's house at a slumber party and somebody rented it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was terrifying. And I
I mean-
think I saw the whole thing or watched it through my fingers. And
Do you
Then
think that's the way it
Band-Aids
was
ripped
intended
off.
to be watched? Just kidding. Do you think did that affect your enjoyment of Coach?
No, Coach was like a nice he
Palate
doesn't have to
cleanser.
worry
Yeah.
about his family anymore.
You'll
He's all
notice
good now.
you'll notice his daughter. He doesn't have a daughter in the show, though, does he?
That's true.
Or
She's back in the TV.
does he? I
Yeah.
don't remember. I do remember the theme song for that though. Da 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 da. It's basic. I think that's the same as the Incredible Hulk theme song.
I think it's true. It just they played it backwards and on
Uh-huh.
piano.
Man, I can't remember. I still can't remember that Hulk theme song. Whatever. Uh, yeah. Is there anything else that I have? I don't have anything else about that. Hold on. Am I any other scary stuff? I feel like I had another scary thing. Oh, I wanted to say, Wes, we checked out this book from the library. She's like super into scary stuff and spooky stuff and blood and skin and stuff and spiders and like zombies and all this dark stuff. But she is also very easily scared. Which I think is the funny combo. So there's like this book that has like funny little scary stories or whatever. And
Sort
one of them
age appropriate. Yeah.
yeah. And one of them is one that I've heard variations of that's like, once there was a dark, dark, like, town. And in this dark, dark town, there was a dark, dark neighborhood. And in this dark, dark neighborhood, there was a dark, dark house. And in this dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. And in this dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark closet. And in this dark, dark closet, there was a dark, dark box. And in this dark, dark box was a ghost or something like that.
And it scares them at the end. You do the
yeah. And it totally scared the shit out of her. And this was maybe 8-9 months ago. And she's still, it's actually, that book is advertised in the back of a different book, just like in a tiny little square. You know how they have those little other books from this distributor?
Yep.
It's just like a little thumbnail there. And she's like, points at it every time. It's like, that book scared me. That's like, and so she got mad at me about it. Like, because my performance was also scary.
Yes.
I'll admit.
Yes.
But I did not think that was going to be. So what we talked about it, we negotiated it, and if I ever am allowed to read that again, I have to say a jelly bean at the end.
Okay.
That was our solution.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the worst because she can picture all of those things
right
in her house. Like, it is your house.
That is
like,
true.
If you're gonna make something scary, like, make it about I don't know, like an electrical power station on the side of a highway in France. Like, it just, I can't picture it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and the
Exactly
illustrations were all actually just like photorealistic of her.
Oh.
Her house.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That
I don't
scared
know
me.
how
I just
they
got a
took
little goosebumpy.
yeah, but no, yeah, I agree that it is funny. I mean, I don't know. It is funny that adults seem to love fucking with children. Like, but for fun. Like, isn't it fun? But like, all of those, I don't know. Are they? Like, do I like being scared? I don't think so. I don't think it necessarily helped me.
What is the point? I know, and I think
to prepare
about that
you
drive.
for being scared by the horrors of the world, basically.
Yeah. No, you got to build up. Yeah, because you got to build up this tolerance. You got to start with the dark, dark box and the dark, dark closet so that you can get to the creepy, like, Saw movies or Insidious
sure.
or, like, shit that is, like, absolutely terrifying, and you'll no longer be able to, like, see anything in the world without, like, somebody popping in, and you have put them on your brain permanently, and that's what makes me mad. But I loved it too. I couldn't wait to see, like, Silence of the Lambs. Went to the theater and saw that.
I don't think I ever really liked it. How about
okay,
in that dark room is a dark, dark box, and in that dark, dark box is late stage capitalism. Yeah, I had that from a little while ago. I thought I'd put it in here. I'll move it back. I'll edit it back. Edit all the stuff you set out. Just kidding.
It actually works really well with the cadence of this book because there's a lot of repetition in that story.
That's true.
And I do find that part in the cave in this story a little scary. Like, I think all of us scared because there's this Okay, we have a cave, a narrow, gloomy cave. We gotta go through it. And then it's like, tiptoe, tiptoe. What's that?
Oh, that was one more comment I had, a complaint, I guess you can say. Don't tiptoe out of there. There's no
Don't
need.
tiptoe out.
Yeah, it's because, like, quick, back through the
Oh,
cave. Tiptoe, tiptoe,
tiptoe,
tiptoe.
tiptoe, tiptoe.
No, just run. You can run full speed. I think this is the time to, like, you forgot why you were tiptoeing, I feel like.
Or remember last time we were talking about the bear, it was like, where's the PSA? You know, there's just like you're tiptoeing or even running. Like the book would have to change, but it would be like, quick, back through the cave. Make yourself big. It's loud, scary noises.
Yeah. Take a pot.
Don't break eye contact.
And a big metal spoon out. Get your gun.
Yell, bear, bear, bear.
They just shoot it right away. That's the modern equivalent.
And scene. Yeah.
The end. And then it's just like a sad bear laying on the ground. It's the last
Bleeding out.
frame.
Yeah.
By the ocean. Anyway, so that's a nice place to end it, I think. That's probably all we have to say about We're Going on a Bear Hunt. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
We're going on a bear hunt. That's all we have to say about that for today. If you enjoy the show, please rate and review it and tell somebody you like about us. And if you don't like it, then tell somebody you hate. For a transcript of this episode or any episode, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address on your screen, and we'll send you back a post-it note that just says, "We don't have that." Until next time, good night, Mush. Good night, creepy old lady. And good night, book.
The end.